What's going on, everyone? Sebastian here. I have a super awesome training for you today. Today I'm going to show you if you should consider collecting emails as an Amazon seller. So there's a lot of information out there that doesn't really go into too much detail as far as, if it makes fiscal sense for Amazon sellers. Now, collecting emails on paper might sound good. However, when you look at the actual stats of everything we're about to go over in this training, you really have to consider the logic behind why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, so just because everyone else is saying something is a good idea, you need to apply business logic to your own company and see, okay, if I'm spending X amount of dollars, I need to be making X amount of profits. And oftentimes, people get lost in the mist of information, and so they don't have, the right points to consider. So I'm going to highlight some really interesting points for you to consider and to think about if you want to collect emails as an Amazon seller. Okay. So, and also the reason why I'm getting into this is because I get asked this question a lot. People, they're building lists and they're trying to do a ton of things as an Amazon seller. So this is to answer, in bulk a lot of these questions. But here's the thing about emails, okay? When you're selling on Amazon, you have to consider what you're doing, okay? What you're doing is you're optimizing for Amazon's distribution, okay? You're optimizing for Amazon's distribution. So when you're optimizing for Amazon's distribution and you're collecting emails, you gotta remember the emails are the customers at the end of the day, even if you're collecting the emails, are Amazon's customers, okay? And the reason why I put Shopify here is because to show you when it might make sense for you, or when it definitely makes sense to collect emails as an e-commerce business owner, okay? If you have your own store, I just put Shopify because that's what I use. Collecting emails makes sense, okay? Because this is now your distribution, okay? You own distribution. And here, obviously, AZ owns distribution, okay? So you have to, in your mind, say, which channel of distribution am I optimizing for? Am I optimizing for my own e-commerce store? Then emails make sense because that's your asset. For optimizing for Amazon's distribution, emails don't make as much sense because they're Amazon's customers. I hope that's making sense, okay? So if we go down the second ladder of this mini pyramid here, open rates, okay? Open rates for Amazon emails are going to be overall email itself, if you Google the open rates for emails in 2018, I don't know if it was between like 2%, it was extremely low. And so you have to think about, is a 2% email open rate worth it? It was 2 to 18%. I don't know if I don't remember if it was the click-through rate was 2% and the open rate was 18%. Across all business models, but it was extremely low. So with low click-through rates, it wasn't 2% click-through rates. I think it was 0.2% click-through rates. But you can Google it. Google email open rates for 2018, which is obviously the year before us. So you can see what the email engagement is, okay? Again, open rates are going to be low. If you have your own brand, open rates are generally going to be a lot higher because you're able to remarket to these customers. They're familiar with your brand. You obviously have social media set up that you're contacting your customers. But if you're just beginning to sell on Amazon, or if you have a few products, you have to consider that a customer is more than likely only going to buy your product once. So if you're spending resources and you're putting cash into collecting emails, don't forget you have to pay for the email softwares. You have to actually write the emails, and you have to measure engagement, optimize that way. And more than likely, the way you got an email is maybe you did a giveaway. So, you'll earn my product or a gift card or whatever. But are these really your ideal audiences, or are they people who just want free stuff? More than likely, it's gonna be people who want free stuff. Even if your audience is refined, and you're collecting emails through whatever marketing channel you're doing it, and maybe you're doing a large discount in exchange for a coupon, the customer, I'm telling you, is more than likely only going to buy that product once, unless you have some sort of a subscriptionized product. Then that model makes sense. So if you're selling toothpaste, for example, maybe collecting emails would make sense, but you also have to consider with those, with an 18% open rate, 0.2% click-through rate, how many emails are you going to have to collect in order for you to turn out to be profitable, driving external traffic via email to your Amazon store? That's a whole lot of emails you're going to need to get. At least 10,000 emails. And you're also assuming, because remember, we're talking about Amazon emails, Amazon's distribution, we're also assuming that those percentage of customers who give you their email are actually, in a month or 2 months down the road, are actually going to take you up on your offer. And are they going to buy it full price, or are they going to, are they going to get incentivized with another discount? So you're going to have to really consider, with 18% on the high end open rates, 0.2% click-through rate. From that 0.2%, what's the likelihood of this email base that you have that they're going to pull out their card again and buy your products? Okay, full price or with the discount, the likelihood is extremely low. Because again, there's no real connection forming with you doing email marketing for Amazon's distribution, because unless you're constantly sending them, buy my product, you're also going to wear your list out extremely fast. Okay, so list fatigue happens, almost instantaneously. They just want whatever offer you have right then and there. They'll give you their email, but they have no idea who you are, so they're never going to open your emails again. And so you would have to pour a ton of resources. And remember, the resources are not even optimized for your store. The resources you're optimizing are for Amazon's distribution. So I'll let you sit on that. That was a bit of a mouthful, I know. But I'm just seeing it because I have some large clients. I myself have almost 15,000 emails, but I'm selling both on Shopify and Amazon. So at a certain point, it makes sense to collect emails because I'm optimizing for Shopify, and I have Amazon added as an additional sales distribution channel. Okay, but I do have this model. So for a company like mine, it makes sense. For newbie sellers, before you get caught in the hype, look at the numbers. Do the numbers, do the math, and you could save yourself a lot of time getting convoluted in strategies when you can really focus on Amazon's distribution. Okay, so Amazon's distribution is basically how high you are in the search term, in the search bar, how high you come up. That's optimizing for Amazon's distribution. Your own store, you don't compete with anyone really, unless it's another Shopify store. But again, you own the eyeballs, you own the traffic, because obviously you can't remarket to Amazon customers via email. So pixel data. Okay, so here's another big one. Through pixel data, collecting emails, so you're paying money, right? You're paying money to build up your email list, right? This costs cash. So if you're going to be investing money into your business, right, you should have this set up with Facebook and, Pinterest. There's all of these marketing channels that offer a pixel that you could then get more information about who your avatar is, who your customer avatar is, and refine over time your message and your ads, okay? And Facebook especially is really good at optimizing for your pixel data to get you more purchases full price, okay? Or an extremely low discount, 5-10%, because this is your distribution channel. You own it. So the pixel data, the customer emails now give you pixel data, which equals essentially, I mean, these all equal money for your own distribution, but this is vitally important if you're collecting emails, okay? Because you have pixel data. So we'll do check here if you're optimizing for your own distribution. X here because obviously you can't pixel your Amazon listing, and because they own it. Yeah, that's their website. You're just renting some space there, okay? And so a next layer down from that is email remarketing. I kind of just touched over this, but I'll go over it again. You can remarket, you know, your products continually, and when you have your own store, you want to send at least 3 emails a week to your customers, blog posts, you know, how-tos, what's happening in the industry, and obviously you will do, you know, a few marketing campaigns, and you cannot do that with Amazon's customers, okay? So Amazon owns the customers. You cannot remarket your products to them. Amazon will not allow that. And so the last layer to this, and there's a few other layers to this pyramid, but just to keep this video concise for you to really consider what I'm saying and to apply it to your business. When you're looking at Facebook lookalike audiences for retargeting, makes sense for Shopify. It also makes sense for Amazon. However, you have to remember from what we've seen, cold audiences more times than not work extremely well. They outperform lookalike audiences, okay? So you can target lookalike audiences, you can do all of this stuff, but remember, you're putting cash into something where you're optimizing for Amazon's distribution, okay? Lookalike audiences for retargeting gives you, the more clicks, the more purchases you get, this gets better and better and better. So this all feeds into itself if you're optimizing for your own distribution. All of these do not talk to each other if you're optimizing for Amazon's distribution. They do not talk to each other. So though you might get a few sales with Facebook lookalike retargeting audiences, you know, you're collecting some emails, you can't feed data across all of these layers of the pyramid, because the pixel data feeds into your lookalike retargeting audiences, making this better, okay? The better this is, the less expensive it is for you to acquire more customers. The more customers you begin to acquire, the higher your open rates are going to be. And if the higher your open rates are going to be, the more effective your email remarketing campaigns are. Plus, you're also getting customers more cheaply because the pixel data is feeding into your lookalike retargeting data. So you're constantly feeding your email list for remarketing. So this entire thing is feeding upon itself, right? And so in these instances, it makes sense to collect an email if it's your distribution, if you're doing it for your distribution channel. For Amazon's distribution channel, this is where you're optimizing for the wrong thing, okay? You should be optimizing for Amazon PPC, you should be optimizing for moving your products up on their search terms, and you should also be looking to enhance your product to be more competitive on the Amazon marketplace. You need to differentiate yourself. It's a whole different ball game that you have to play on Amazon's distribution channels. But emails, I mean, you're gonna have to build a really big email list to make a dent. And again, this data still belongs to Amazon, and you're gonna be paying for it, okay? So benefits of emails: repeat business. It's an asset to you if you own the distribution. It's an asset to you if you own the distribution. And again, repeat business, if they gave you their email for a coupon code or during a giveaway, what's the likelihood, just apply this logic, of someone buying your product twice? It would have to be, like I just said, a product that they would need over and over again. If it's toothpaste, for example, Again, maybe it'll make sense for you to do it into your business, but at the end of the day, they're Amazon's customers. So repeat business is why you need emails, right? Remarketing, assets, lifetime value. Okay, so with emails, you shoot up your customers' the lifetime value of your customers, because they're gonna see you more frequently. You're gonna build trust with those customers, and they're gonna continually buy from you. They're gonna be associated with your brand because of how many touch points you're hitting them with. Like I'm saying, at least 3 times a week. If it's your own distribution, it makes sense to collect emails in this part of the spectrum. It doesn't make as much sense to do it on this side of the spectrum, because again, LTV, it's not just how much it costs you to acquire one customer, but if you look at the value, how many times this customer buy from you again and again, now you have hard, tangible numbers to tell you how much you can afford to spend to acquire more customers. But you need data for all of this information. So without the data points, right, without the pixel data, without feeding the pixel data appropriately into the retargeting to optimize for your budget, you're just throwing money at a brick wall. Okay, and so emails, I mean, you can do an experiment if you want. I just wanted to show you, why it makes more sense to, if you are going to collect emails, do it because you're optimizing for your own distribution channel. And if you're crushing it on Amazon, really consider strong PPC campaigns, adding more products to the marketplace, differentiating yourself, and moving up higher on the search terms. Okay, but emails are not going to play a huge factor. Even if you have an email list to retarget, okay, like I'm telling you, you still need pixel data. So you'll continually just retarget to cold audiences for link clicks. Whereas if it's your own distribution channel and you have the emails there, Facebook can optimize for full price purchases because of the pixel data that you're giving the emails, so it gets better and better over time. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. This concludes this video training. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Like this video. Again, I would love to hear what you think about this controversial training. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.